There we go. Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday night here at the BTA Network. That means it's time for political catch-up. In other words, we catch up literally on what's been happening over the past week or so, give or take. And we do things our way. We're not going to bombard you every day. We leave that to the pros.
Yep.
But anyway,
We
go ahead.
we decide the basic thing is we decided that we couldn't just ignore politics anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So we just made this one episode to handle it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so anyway, I'm your host for tonight. I'm Oddball Stream. I'm going to be joined along by two of my crazy cohorts. Below me is our mastering creator, Frodo. Hello, Frodo.
Hello.
Hello. And and joining us tonight is our resident tiny sus, Janet. Hello, Janet.
I'll be here for a little bit anyway.
That's fine.
Yeah, and then there's my wife sitting in her chair singing "You Spin Me Right Round." Anyway, before we get started on tonight, like the main subject of tonight, I wanted to let people know that I have actually been asked to be part of the 5051 movement, 50501, which is 50 states, 50 capitals, one message. And I am I'm going to be probably acting as a media what would you call it? Media assistant
Yeah.
for it.
Oh,
So,
cool.
media advisor to
Mm-hmm.
work with like the news stations and that to get people to know about our protests and stuff.
Mm-hmm. By the way, before you go on, Sajo's in the chat. Hey, Sajo.
Sajo, stop it. Stop playing around with your never mind. I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah, we're on the air.
I don't care. You know that.
Yeah, but YouTube might.
No, they haven't done anything yet.
Yeah, we fucking
I'm talking.
sworn. We fucking said fuck shit, fuck bitch, ass, motherfucking cocklick, motherfucking so many times it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. Now, that'd be a difference if it was on Twitch.
Yeah. But here's also some interesting news. Today, before we got on the air, I was actually at a political rally, or should I call it more of a town hall? And it was with Pete Buttigieg.
The
Now, I'm going
former.
to say this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you ever get the chance to go and watch Pete Buttigieg talk, I recommend you do so because he's really an enthralling talker. He's
Nice.
good.
Bye.
All right, later.
Pete really knows how to talk and be good to the normal person, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
if you ever have a chance, please take the time and go talk to him. Go listen to him. He's
Mm-hmm.
really pretty decent dude. So
Huh.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about Buttigieg, and I actually like him. Like him now. He's really he's really I think
He's more down to he's more down to earth than a lot
yeah,
of people.
yeah. And we're joined by Maddie.
Joined by who?
Maddie.
Oh. Oh, sorry. I forgot your camera's not working. That's why we can't see Maddie.
He's on my chest.
Oh. For those of you
So
who don't know, Maddie is Frodo's cat.
a 16-pound 21-year-old ball of fluff that thinks he's still 2 months old. Yeah, he's but yeah, so anyway, talking today, we have a few things we need to discuss. One of
Mm-hmm.
them is, well, if you listened to our show yesterday, you know we discussed how weather radars cannot cause storms to form.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I went through the whole fucking electromagnetic spectrum and explained that,
Mm-hmm.
even though infrared can affect us through heat at most, there's no way for our technology to manipulate weather, especially when when some of the accusations are supposedly
Yeah.
that we seeded the clouds for Hurricane Helene last year. Not possible.
Mm-mm.
The amount of energy a hurricane of that power puts out is equivalent to about 2 million SAR bombas every day. And for those that don't understand what I'm talking about, Tsar Bomba is the biggest nuclear bomb that's ever been detonated on Earth at 50 megatons, 50.
Ooh.
And that was done by Russia. They did it in, well, the Soviet Union, but let's just call a spade here.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it in the North Sea. Like I think they said it was like 150 miles away from the nearest people.
Mm-hmm.
And when that bitch went off, uh windows got shattered in Finland.
I believe it.
So I'm just putting it out there that that when you're talking about that many Tsar bombas, and that's the most powerful bomb we've ever made as humanity, and that we can only manage one of those without causing devastation.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what would happen if we launched the equivalent of 2,000 of those bitches or
Oh
2
boy.
million of those bitches. What would happen with the Earth at 2,000? Well, the Earth would probably split in half. At
Mm-hmm.
2 million, we're talking atoms.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not trying to sensationalize this. I'm just
No,
trying
no,
to
no.
give you rough guesstimations on how much power we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I feel like honestly seeing this, if the veterans on patrol want to go after those radars, we weather geeks really need to go after them.
And and the problem comes down to the veterans on patrol. While I respect veterans, and I really do, I
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
respect
So
all
do I.
people who have served our country.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the fact that you're so convinced that we're capable of creating stuff like Hurricane Helene, which, to be frank, there's no fucking way anytime in the next 2,000 years that we're going to be able to uh, channel that kind of energy. And the reason I say 2,000 years is because to be able to make that kind of energy and make it work, we would have to have enough uh, technological capability to produce a Dyson sphere. And in order to produce a Dyson sphere, you have to be able to use and utilize all of the material in your own solar system. And to do that, you literally have to be extraplanetary. And while, yes, technically speaking, we are extraplanetary because we are capable of going to the moon and Mars. We're not capable of sending manned missions to Mars yet. And that is definitely a prerequisite for needing for harvesting materials out of other planets. So we need to be able to have um have the ability to take men and women to uh to other planets, be able to have as much air as we can get for those planets,
Mm-hmm.
and be able, while we're on that planet, to mine without very much effort. And on top of all of that, if that wasn't daunting enough, we have to be able to literally get that raw material from the planet we were mining it from back to Earth. Do you see do you see how much we'd have to be able to do?
Yeah, there's a heck of a lot of logistical problems right off the bat.
Yeah. So it we ain't looking at being able to put out a Dyson sphere anytime in the next 2,000 years. It just isn't feasible,
Mm-mm.
especially when the most powerful country in the world, and make no mistake, the United States is the most powerful country in the world, has such a problem with infighting between its people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's just the truth.
Yeah.
Do you blame me?
No.
Like I said, I'm not trying to diminish what we're capable of, but we have to literally be a uh stage one, what's it called? Civilization, to
Mm-hmm.
be able to do shit like that. And right now, as it stands, we're stage point five at best. So we're nowhere near being able to do shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um Also, I just want to make mention that we now have two uh emer flash flood emergencies in place.
Mm-hmm.
Surely.
Yep. Give me a second.
And they're both in Virginia.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately,
if you live,
I don't have it set up on my thing. Oh, there's that flashing, the glowing white.
yep. So here's what I'm going to tell you. If you live in between Luxray, Harrisonburg, Bridgewater, Orange, Charlottesville, Waynesboro, Staunton, Louisa, Front Royal, and Fredericksburg uh in uh
Virginia.
in Virginia, along with Lake of the Woods, Culpeper, Warrenton, Washington, Elkin, Elkton, Shenandoah, Gordonsville, uh, Brightwood, Madison. Any of these cities sound anything familiar to you? Do yourself a favor and get to higher ground. You are under a flash flood emergency.
Yeah. Now here's the latest update. For the flash flood emergency for Madison County between the crest of the Blue Ridge and Highway 29. 10:07 p.m. Eastern. This was literally 7 minutes ago. Uh, Emergency management reported widespread flooding and water rescues in Madison County between the crest of the Blue Ridge and Highway 29. Between 4 and 7 inches of rain have fallen. The expected rainfall rate is 0.5 to 1 inch in 1 hour. Additional rainfall amounts of zero point 0.5 to 1 inch are possible in the warned area. Flash flooding is already occurring.
Yep. So if you are anywhere in that area, you recognize any of those city names, anything like that, do yourself a favor, get up high
Mm-hmm.
because flash floods are nothing to fuck around with.
Mm-mm.
There's a famous statement by one of the weather service people here in Iowa, and I'm going to repeat their words because it's 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
If you are driving around and you see any kind of water on the roadway, even if you know the roadway very, very well, even if you've been down that roadway 100,000 times, I don't give two fucks. If you see heavy water on that roadway, turn around and don't drown.
Mm-hmm.
So do yourself a favor. If you're up higher and in higher ground and not going to be affected, stay there. Wait until the flash flood emergency is over, then go help people.
Mm-hmm.
But until that flash flood emergency is over, do not, and I do mean do not, try to do anything much outside because we want people to stay alive and stay safe.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to put that out. All right, so continuing on with our stories.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um,
Well, go ahead.
go ahead, Shirley.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Of course, you probably know this by now, unless you've been living on a rock. We got a brand new pope last week. Pope Leo the 14th, aka Robert Prevost from Chicago.
The first ever American Pope.
Mm-hmm.
So continue on, Shirley.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see. Here's what we know. He speaks 5 languages. He actually spent a lot more time down in Peru, and he's already getting under Donald Trump's skin.
Yeah, he's not just getting under his skin, he's probably pretty effectively ground to his last nerve, and I don't care because quite honestly, I'm going to say it like this. Trump, I don't care what you feel, you bitch. You can suck a dick. You
Yep.
can suck a fucking dick.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but I I I have such little fucking uh faith in Donald Trump that today in that event I was freaking screaming some stuff. It was nuts.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that. It's like, I think thankfully I was at work for the most part.
But
Because
yeah,
like
it
I don't want
was
as long as I'm at work or something, I just don't want to see anything that's got to do with him. You know,
yeah, I agree with you, but it's still when you have someone who treats
the Constitution like a
people,
piece of trash.
oh God, he doesn't even treat it like a piece of trash, girl. He treats the Constitution like toilet paper.
Hmm.
That's straight up what he sees it as.
Yeah.
It's nothing but a shitter script. And I'm sorry to say, there's a lot of people in this country who are pissed,
Mm-hmm.
including me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So anyone who has a problem with what we're saying, you have the right to your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But this this story is really quite bad. This not story, but what's going on in this world with Trump is really quite bad.
Mm-hmm.
And just it just we as a country need to over stop the division and unite together.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna be honest, this shit's fucking irritating to me. But anyway, if you have any stories you want to hit on, including that radar one, go for it.
Yeah, well, we talked about that last night on the show. In case you missed it, and we just talked about it a few minutes ago. Veterans on patrol want to take down the radars because they believe they're weather weapons. It's like, what in the world is the matter with you?
Yep. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The fact that they think that makes me really question where they're getting their information. Because you're talking about something that unless you're literally and I'm sorry for the disturbing description of what I'm about to say,
Okay.
but unless you're literally sitting on the radar dish and allowing it to penetrate you anally, there's no fucking way for a radar beam to cause your body physical damage.
Yeah. Oh, before you go on, Sajid put this in chat. By the way, you got Republicans wanting to ban porn in the federal level.
Yep, they want to define exactly what what inappropriate is and thereby use that to take away First Amendment rights. This is what Trump and his ilk have been doing all fucking year. They find a right that they don't want people to have, and they try and strip that right from them.
Mm-hmm.
First, you started with uh, the right to due process. Now he's pushing to the right of free expression. Soon he's going to try and do the right of religious choice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's doing all this shit. Quite honestly, he's doing all this shit to appease the fucking Christian base.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
problem is, and I don't know your religious beliefs, Shirley, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to speak from at least some perspectives that I've heard, including my wife, who is a Christian. That is not something that most Christians want. They
Mm-mm.
do not want Christianity to be the mandated religion of the country.
Yep. I am Christian myself, but thankfully I'm not. I'm definitely not a fire and brimstone type either.
Well, and here's the thing. I left the religion of Christianity because of the bullshit fucking hypocrisy in Christianity. You know,
Mm-hmm.
love thy neighbor as thyself. And then people in today's world added in, unless they're a part of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, questioning all that spectrum, unless they're not Christians, unless they're this, unless they're that, unless they're this, unless they're that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, but it's that kind of fucking hypocrisy that makes people like me not want a fucking thing to do with your fucking backward ass beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Wicca. I don't believe a damn bit of it. And the reason I don't is because my religious beliefs has one fucking statement that's so simple, but is so fucking profound that people need to understand. And that phrase is, and it harm none, do as ye will.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Christians have the golden rule, but guess what?
Uh,
Most of them don't follow the golden rule. No
right.
offense.
Right. It's like this is what I've always said. Going to church every Sunday proves nothing.
No,
It's how
it's
you it's I feel like it's how you are during the week away from the sanctuary that proves it.
it's not even just the sanctuary, it's how you carry yourself throughout life.
Mm-hmm.
Like when here's what I'm going to say as with personal experience. When I was Christian, I believed myself to be better than most people. Why? Because, quote, I'm redeemed and no one can tell me anything different.
Mm-hmm.
However, once I became Wiccan and learned, I I I feel like I became a better person because of those 8 words I live by, and it
Mm-hmm.
harm none, do as ye will. And that means that I have to consider every possibility.
Yeah. It's like
And
it's like I've known of a couple people they've gone to church for over 50 years, but they still go out. They're still good people. They help others. They help others. In other words, they don't need the words. All they got to do is their actions. Actions speak louder than words.
exactly, exactly. And that's part of the reason I'm in my marriage now is because I pushed myself to be the better to be I pushed myself to be a better person through those 8 words.
Mm-hmm.
I pushed myself to respect everyone unless I have good reason not to respect them. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
treat everyone the same. You, you know, Shirley can vouch this out. I have never treated her like a pile of shit. I've never
Right.
treated her like a servant.
Mm-hmm.
She's my friend.
Yep. Like I said, I do believe in God, but I don't. Not to the point where I'm gonna be forced going to church every week, because it's just like you said. I feel like too many people in the church are hypocrites.
Exactly. Exactly. And the problem that I have with it is that, like, let's take the Heritage Foundation as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Heritage Foundation is literally trying to turn this country into Christian Shari.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, but last time I checked, the First Amendment applies. And unless you somehow can figure out how to kill the Constitution,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm sorry, but I don't see how you could do that. You don't have the right to tell me that my religion is wrong, just like you don't have any right to tell my wife that her religion is wrong,
Mm-hmm.
just like you don't have any fucking right to tell my friend Nick that his religious beliefs are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but anyone who says that they have the right to dictate your beliefs to you isn't your friend.
No.
I respect. For example, there's 2 members of our show, and I'm going to go into a little bit, not too much of description, but you'll understand what I'm going to say here, and you'll understand why I'm saying it. We have a member of our show who actually voted for Trump. And, this person came to me and said, you're going to hate me for this. You're going to absolutely hate me. Blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what? Tell me. Just tell me. I bet you I won't. And they told me that they voted for Trump. And I said, and then the person said that, I figured it out afterwards that voting for Trump was a bad thing. I told this person, if you did something and then realized that you made a mistake and you are sorry about the error in your decision, I can forgive that.
Hmm.
Because guess what? Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I told this person. Like I said, I'm not going to say names,
Mm-hmm. This is
but
fine.
they, I think that the fact that I am willing to accept them as a friend, even though they made a poor decision, since they realized how bad of a decision they made,
Mm-hmm.
why should I, why should I fucking penalize them?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, families have torn apart and friendships have been destroyed because of this, unfortunately.
Exactly. And this is where I really have a problem with a lot of people's beliefs because, okay, sure, someone made a fucking mistake. Someone made a mistake. But if they're telling you, hey, I realize that I made a mistake doing this and I'm sorry I did it, then guess what? They're they're not the bad people.
Mm-hmm.
You need to understand that humans, the human condition is making mistakes. And that's a fact. The human condition is we make mistakes. So if someone makes a mistake, they deserve to have a fair shake.
Mm-hmm.
Give them a chance to fucking realize if they made the mistake. And once they realize it, cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they'll find out immediately, sometimes it takes them a long time.
But once they figure it out, who gives a shit?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Shirley, I gotta go take care of something, so you
Okay.
handle the show for a few minutes.
Okay, no problem. All right, there. So let's see. Of course, like I said, we got a new pope. He's from Chicago. He's already getting under Donald Trump's skin. Yay, good. But one thing that I've been noticing, now I don't want to be telling something bad news, but Democrats up in Washington are having a bit of an infighting problem because you've got the youngsters like let's see, was it Maxwell Frost, Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, and Hakeem Jeffries. They're all fairly young, and they want to buck the establishment because the problem is, and this is true on both sides, we're electing the same people over and over and over again. We've had people 20, 30, 40, 50, sometimes 60 years in the same job. And I feel like, honestly, there needs to be term limits for everybody. I mean, not just the president, for everybody in Congress, everybody, even the Supreme Court. But unfortunately, stuff like that, that's going to take a constitutional amendment, and that's probably never going to happen. But what it's crazy seeing all these people like 60, 70, 80, 90 years old. They're dying. Some have, of course, have died in office. So,
Yep. We've had deaths in office, a lot more than I care to even quantify.
mm-hmm.
Um, the other thing that I gotta say going off this is, hey, Shirley,
Mm-hmm.
you know your favorite turnip green?
Oh, Margarine Turnipgreens. Yeah, she decided she's not running for the U.S. Senate.
Well, no, I watched a little bit of uh her Doge subcommittee,
Uh huh.
and I've got a funny for you.
Okay.
She's got a new nickname to me.
Uh oh, what is it?
Marjorie Hammer Addict Green.
Ooh.
Why? because in the course of one fucking committee meeting, no joke on this,
Mm-hmm.
she banged her gavel over 47 fucking times.
Ouch. I'm surprised
47,
I'm surprised the gavel survived.
right? But yeah, 47 bangs of the gavel. Bang, 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 bang. It's like, God damn, bitch. What do you think you are? Fucking Hammer Brother?
No, she thinks she's Mario in the Donkey Kong game when you're holding that hammer, trying to.
It's like, fuck. And then she bitches at a Democrat for trying to call out fucking hypocrisy. And she's like, we're not going to be listening to this in this meeting because it's my meeting. And I'm like, bitch, shut up. It ain't your fucking anything.
Yeah.
It's the people's, not yours,
Mm-hmm.
bitch.
She was. I'll bet you she was probably doing this. Now listen, I want to write. I know this and that and this and that and this and that.
It was ridiculous. It was just like, the guy, one of the guys behind her, the first time she banged her gavel, she banged it so hard that the dude jumped about a foot in the air.
I believe it.
It's like, bitch, shut up. So yeah, she's the Hammer sister now. Actually, I'm kind of wondering if sister's the right term for her.
Yeah. You know, I got an idea. Hammer bitch, margarine, turnip greens.
How about this? We'll go even further down the fucked up lane because
Okay.
you put it down the fucked up lane, so I'm gonna put it down the fucked up lane.
Okay.
It's Hammer Hoe.
Ooh, even better. I like that better.
What do you think, Sajo? Marjorie Taylor Greene is now known as the Hammer Hoe.
Yep. Either the hammer hoe or the gavel. Nah, gavel gal's too good for her.
No, Gavel Grinch.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, gavel Grinch.
I wonder what Sajo thinks about us making fun of her like this.
He said nice. Yeah, but
So yeah,
oh god.
it's just fucking ridiculous that we're even giving people like Marjorie Taylor Greene the time of day.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, she's an elected representative, but Jesus fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
and
oh, hang on before you go on. Craig just joined the chat. Hey, Craig.
Jasmine Crockett said that Marjorie is still the dumbest person in Congress.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Well, that's in the House of Representatives. In terms of the Senate, I'd give Tommy, or I call him Snobby Snubberville, that title.
I got a better one.
Okay.
Spineless Chuck.
Hmm.
Go ahead, hon. Go ahead. No, Spineless Chuck.
Spineless Chuck in the grass.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah. Got Spineless Chuck in the grass. I see now in terms of the Senate, I have Snobby Snubberville.
Marjorie is Georgia, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Close enough to you.
But I still like to call her margarine turnip greens.
Yeah, she's the hammer hoe now, though.
Mm-hmm. Because I
Um, let's see what else is
mm,
what else is there.
let's see. Oh, Lauren. Oh yeah, I got it. Lauren Bumblebert. Craig saying, "Are you all Democrats?" Um, good question. I I
I
I would
am.
say I am now because I used to be a Republican, but that started changing around 2012. And then when January 6th happened in 2021, I left for good. I was done. So I got Lauren Bumblebert.
And then actually, I got a perfect nickname for Lauren Boebert.
Okay.
Easy Lay Boebert.
Ooh, like that one.
So, what do you think, Craig? Would that be a good nickname for her? The Easy Lay Oven.
Perfect.
I actually want to see what he says about that.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen anything just yet, so.
But yeah, they want to make they want to make uh pornography illegal. They wanted to
Okay.
make the whole of
Yeah. Oh, hold on a second. Craig was talking about our the question about are you all Democrats? He said, "Oh, okay, I didn't know for sure." Yeah.
like everything so far has been a shit show this year.
Mm-hmm.
If possible, it's getting worse.
Yeah. I'm gonna pray that next year in 2026 we have a hell of a blue wave. At
I,
least we need it though.
I think that it's gonna happen because people are sick and tired of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
It's like ever since day
um,
one, it's like Trump has done so much to send our country in the wrong direction.
yep.
And of course, yeah. I don't know if you've heard this, but Robert F. Kennedy Jr., of course, the Secretary of Health and is it Health and Human Services? Yeah, HHS. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was seen in a river that's been known for bacteria. So I was like,
Good.
yeah, real smart. Stupid.
I'm sorry, but good.
Hmm.
Maybe then he'll be stupid enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, what do you think? Um, it's 44 after. We don't really have much more to talk about, do we?
Not really. No. But
So let's just call it early.
okay, yeah, that sounds good. All right. So anyway, Our next show I will be doing will be Thursday with Color Planet. Then Friday we will all be together for Among Us to make it for
And
last
I'm
Friday.
gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right now. If someone is sus, it's always Shirley.
And if someone shapeshifts, it's either Frodo or me.
My wife just scratched my head. Thank you, honey.
That's
All right.
gotta
Well, I'll
feel
let you
good.
go.
All right, I'll
You
finish
go
this
ahead and
off.
finish it.
All right. So that's our plan. That's our plan for the rest of the week. Take tomorrow night off. I'll be doing Color Planet on Thursday, and we'll all be back again on Friday for Among Us. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the ending. So bear with me, Growl. All right. So with that in mind, I'm gonna say love, peace, and chicken grease. Everyone have a great night. Sleep well. Stay safe, and I will see you Thursday for Color Planet. Peace.